So yeah, nice and early. It's 9 o'clock. Was on the charts until 2. Woke up at 6:30 because I knew we had UK inflation news, but I just wanted to do a little trade recap from all the positions posted this week. Talk about the positions, some of which went wrong in terms of the limit orders, and also some of them went really right, and just talk about the trading as well. So I'm just opening the Discord, the Market Momentum Discord here, and you can see here this is basically the trade roundup from what has been posted this week. So we've had an 8R on EURNZD, we've had EURAUD a 14R, gold 13R, -1 on the limit entry, and then also a few -1s with a little sprinkle of Great British Pound JPY short for a +5R, totaling up to 36R this week, all of which were posted in the imminent positions. Posted most of them in the potential future plays last week. How I've personally traded them: -1R on the XAUSD limit order, Great British Pound AUD -2R. Actually, it was a -3R, but I did cover one of the losses with the trade earlier during the day. Great British Pound New Zealand dollar -1R on the limit, and then 5R and 2R and a 9R, and so oh no, I haven't put EURNZD in there as well. So I did have EURNZD in there for a I had a EURNZD in there, and I took that quite early at a +1R. +1R. And the reason that I took that early was just simply due to the fact that I'd taken the losses on Great British Pound New Zealand dollar and Great British Pound AUD, which I should have really just let it run. But I took quite a heavy loss on that, so I took a -2R on it, and I just kind of wanted to do some damage control. So yeah, let's just get onto the charts and kind of have a look at what we're looking at here. So this is a position I'm kind of looking at on gold here. Just delete that. So obviously gold has been on like this huge bullish run, and we kind of saw a head and shoulders at the top. Now the first limit order was placed here. Saw a lovely rejection of that. In fact, it actually went into profit first, because I placed the limit order relatively early, and then ended up getting stopped out, of which I then found this level up here where I took the short and looked to take profits just a little bit. Well, I took profits here, and it was bang on here, and I know why, because we'll talk about why I took profits. The trade was this, and I remember just managing to stay out of that liquidity, and trade for me was like here basically. Did post a second position, which was also at this level here, and kind of was looking at the full take profit, just above this area here, and it was on where the hourly candle close was, because I was looking to target this area of liquidity, of which it reached. So yeah, this was a nice trade. I was expecting a little bit more downside, and the reason that I took profit is because I came into the market this week, and last week I had a break-even week despite being up quite a lot of money numerous times. So I said to myself on Friday, I was like, right, I'm going to be taking profits a little bit sooner this week because I want to walk away with some money from the market, and since then it's been quite a good week. A few little mistakes here and there in terms of take profit targets, but absolutely managed to nail this one. So yeah, that's gold. And as I say, we got it was a 13R on both positions, and here's where it gets quite interesting. So Great British Pound CAD, really want to talk about this one. So I posted this in the group last week, and for Great British Pound CAD, you could kind of see this head and shoulders forming. We know that the market has shifted, the market structure shifted, but Canadian dollar's been really, really choppy. So I kind of stayed away from trading it. Saw this break below, saw this 4-hour close below, and usually I'd place a limit order, but I'll tell you why I didn't. Now, if you look at my previous video where I talk about my entry system, the thing that I really don't like to see is I don't like to see high levels of resting liquidity above. So I know how choppy Canadian dollar's been because I've tried trading it on USD and I've got stopped out once, I've taken profit once, and then I've got stopped out at break even, and I've moved away from it recently for the simple fact that the price action is horrendous. So although we are respecting this market structure on the higher time frames, just this area here was a real put off for me. So as I say, when I trade my system, I look for a market structure shift and a reversal. Now usually it would be the entry at this level, that would be your first aggressive entry. Last week I called this in the Discord, called this trade in the Discord here, and it ended up hitting for a 6R. And you can just kind of see, like, really what you would expect after this is you would expect price to just move to the downside, or at least wipe out some of that area of liquidity without too much choppiness. And you can just see that even after that, it's just been like really, really choppy. So when we did finally get the break below this level, the reason I wasn't interested in the trade is because of the liquidity that was resting above here. Although the market has clearly shifted, for me, I know that this area is going to be a problem. It's not going to be that straightforward. If we didn't have that resting liquidity above this area of market structure, then a simple support and resistance trade on the market structure shift on trendline break would have been fine, because you can kind of even see like this inverse head and shoulders, but you just know it's going to be a problem. That wouldn't have given me a tight stop. And my focus, what I would usually look for then is a diagonal consolidation and a break to the downside here, which, then looking at probably like this level, to be honest, around this level here, and that would be the trade, which would have been the entry last night. North on spreads, and would have taken that out this morning. So as I say, at that moment in time, I wasn't really interested in Great British Pound CAD. As I posted it, I've taken it and chalked it down as a loss, just because, say, someone, I saw a member in the group say about it, and I said I'm not personally going to take it, but if you do, it's up to you. So yeah, it's just one of those things, really. It's just one of those trades that, as I say, it could have been a really nice trade, like an absolute lovely win, but just simply due to that resting liquidity above that market structure. I wasn't interested in getting in on the limit order here. But you could, as I say, you could have just traded this in terms of like the diagonal consolidation. And yeah, Great British Pound's been like really interesting recently. It's been really bullish, and this morning we've had some inflation data come out. Let's have a look at that. So inflation's actually gone down. Obviously prior it was 3%, 2.9% was forecast, and it was better today. So the markets have reacted accordingly. We've had a sell-off. Looks like British pound's getting weaker. It's interesting because a lot of the time when inflation's been coming down, it's actually been strengthening a lot of pairs, and I think the reason, feel free to correct me in the comments. As I say, I'm not a fundamental analyst, I'm not an economist, but I think the reason for it is because we've been quite hawkish on lowering the rates here in the UK, lowering the interest rates, and I think that's due to inflation being a little bit stickier than we've wanted. So we've kind of been in line with the rate drops in the US compared to like the Canadian dollar, who've just been dropping interest rates. Like they're now down to 2.5% or 2.75%. We're still at 4.5%. And obviously that's good for our currency. But with, lower inflation, that probably means that we're going to have more rate drops this year, which is great for me because I'm looking to sell my house next year. So that's actually news that I want, and it's also worked out in the form of a trade for me today. So good stuff. We'll then go on to Great British Pound AUD, because I managed to catch this trade this morning or last night. Now, the entry for this trade was actually here. We can see from the previous trade we didn't get the exact same trade. You never do. I took this on the break. I actually entered here on the 15-minute. I knew we were going to get the retest. I managed to take some profit out about here, because you could just see from like consolidation, the engulfing, that we were going to come up and retest. So I placed a limit order. There. You can see that we did get the candle wick, but price was just really bullish. Really bullish on it. And then I kind of thought, okay, well, let's have a proper look at this. Now we know that this is a level here. We can see that this is a clear level. So maybe that's where we're going to. So I took another entry. Started to work out. Obviously started making a move down. This level here, buyers just really liked, and there was also some high impact news for the Australian dollar last night, and price just came up and it tapped me out at break even. I saw this wick, I re-entered. The horrid liquidity grab, absolutely disgusting liquidity grab there, which it actually came up and grabbed. Yeah, no, it wasn't on this. Yeah, just a really horrible liquidity grab. And then I took the trade one more time, which was going to be my final time, of entering the trade, and prices just like continued to move to the downside. And then I took profit at this level. Was kind of planning on taking profit around here, but I was I took 14 grand on the trade, and I'm happy with that, man. I don't need any more than that. Do you know what I mean? I was looking at this for 17 grand, and I've left the trade. I've taken the good money from the trade. I'm up 16 grand this week, so I'm happy. But yeah, just to look back, I would have, even though I took this on the limit order, after I saw the rejection on this with the candle close, I would have still taken this trade all day long. So yeah, this is one of the losses posted. Then we've got Great British Pound NZD. Now, definitely got this one wrong. Entry was wrong on it. It's just the same yesterday. We had like a really bullish move up from Great British Pound. I think it was a little bit of a liquidity grab personally. It kind of fell in line with EURAUD moving up as well. So yeah, here we had a limit order entry followed by a loss. I actually rode this out for a little bit of time. I was in the car, didn't cut it short, it just was kind of like slowly moving up, and then I didn't get back in. I was kind of hoping this morning that we might have got a retest back up to this level, because I was looking at changing the trade. Obviously this is where buyers are really interested, so we were going to get like the start of the market structure shift here, and I was looking for like a retest on here on the hourly, but there's just been no retest. Maybe if we come back up to it, I'll take it again, but who knows. And yeah, just finally kind of onto the winners, which is Euro Australian dollar and EURNZD. So I took profit a little bit early on this because I just wanted to mitigate some of the losses from Great British Pound NZD and also Great British Pound AUD. Now, that's bad practice. That's bad trading for myself. I should have really let this run to full TP, but it is what it is. You just need one big win a week, and it will just cover all of your losses. You don't need, like, you know, if you're taking entries, I've taken quite a few entries this week, and you're managing to cover some of your losses, and then all of a sudden you manage to get one of these lovely setups here and you get an 8R. If you've covered your losses and you've taken some minor profit on some trades and you've taken a loss on another, these big trades, these are the ones that are actually good for your P&L. You know, with my trading strategy, I take losses, you know. I don't always just trade the hourly. Sometimes I might see like a trade here, for example, which I did see a trade here, and I expected price, you know, I actually expected this to be a continuation, and I set my take profit target to down here, and it just missed it, and this was on spreads as well, and then price just continued to move up, and it formed more structure. So, you know, this is why I said in my video, you need to set your take profit kind of targets accordingly. But yeah, anyway, so EURNZD, absolutely perfect. Limit order entry, break, retest market structure shift, and same with EURAUD as well. And this one's just like continued to move to the downside. So posted 2 positions here in the group. And also in the Lit Traders group by Samuel Silver, which is like a really good little community that's just started up. And yeah, obviously you can kind of see like this head and shoulders forming here on the 4 hour. We know that the market structure is like starting to change quite a lot, so you kind of just anticipate it. You can see here that we had this little uptrend that was getting broken, and we saw the rejections off this on the hourly and the 4 hourly. So once that broke, there was an entry there. There's also an entry here at this level that I didn't post, but would have been a really great trade to take. And then just simple break and retest. Got in this on the limit order, and then just continued to move down. I think I ended up taking profit like here, to be honest with you. Maybe a little bit less. I think it was about there. So I took like a 3R on it, instead of the full kind of the full 8R that was planned. And obviously combined, we've got like a 15R or 14R here for the trade that was posted. as I say, this was like kind of relatively simple. You can see that, you know, the market structure has just shifted. It's no longer, although like people go, oh, daily bias, you know, fuck daily bias, man. Like price has got to come down. Do you know what I mean? We love it when price makes movements up like this because price has got to come down. You know, I prefer shorting markets, 100%. You know where you take profit targets are there. When you're buying, you never know. Well, you just get like little ones and twos. When you're short, ones and twos are 2 hours. When you're short, and you get big moves. Big moves, lovely targets. Price is a lot more predictable in my opinion. But yeah, so you can just kind of see that price is respecting that level, and if you get like a little trend line break, you can see the price is moving up in this flag. We've had 1, 2, 3 touch points, but if you want to look at why that was an entry, and how you know it's going to continue moving to the downside, because price is no longer really bullish. This is more corrective. So price has actually made a big move down. We know that this is corrective behavior, so once we kind of break this corrective behavior, we can get into a short position and look to just target the bottom area of that liquidity. So what I'm expecting next for this pair is, obviously I'll clean this up, but if we go onto EURAUD on like another pair, for example, we can see here that we've got head and shoulders, like it's clear as day. So we can see that we've got head and shoulders here. Sometimes I like to check different charts because yeah, you always get like a clear, you know, sometimes different charts give you different areas of liquidity and stuff, and the one is quite good. But yeah, so now what we're going to probably do is, I think we're going to come down and retest, or probably wipe out that liquidity, and then big move to the downside, where I think this is going to be the level that we retest. Maybe here on the daily, probably going to be the first level there, but yeah, it's going to be a really lovely big swing here. Really lovely big swing, so something to watch out for. But yeah, there's the full trade recap. 36 are posted this week in the Discord. Also kind of posting the trade setups live on YouTube as well, so you know, can't be any clearer than that, guys, you know. Yeah, if you want to join the Discord, I'll post the link in the comments, and if you've got any questions, or you know, you want a specific video, then just feel free to let me know and I'll get around to making it.